What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another video. I'm your host, White Boy Rick, and in today's video we're going to be speaking about a woman who was arrested for leaving 3 children in the car while she went into Walmart. And while she was in Walmart, the children found a loaded gun in the car. A 9-year-old boy accidentally shot and killed another child who was in the car. Let's jump into it. Dallas, Texas. A woman is now behind bars for the accidental shooting of an 11-year-old in Dallas grocery store parking lot. Shamira Wright Sanders was arrested Thursday and charged with 3 counts of endangering a child with severe bodily injury, which is a second-degree felony. Police said she was the one who left 3 boys in a car while she went inside Walmart. The kids found a gun in the car, and a 9-year-old accidentally shot and killed an 11-year-old Desmond Ray Brown Jr. Desmond's mother, Kiamber Matlock, says he was spending the weekend with a friend and he had so many times before. But that Sunday on April 11th, Dallas police say Wright Sanders stopped at Walmart, leaving 3 children unattended. Somebody has to be held accountable for this death, Matlock said. It shouldn't have even taken place. My son was supposed to be coming home that day. Matlock says she hasn't been in touch with Wright Sanders since the shooting, but she's reached out through a friend to try and clarify what happened and whose gun it was. She kept saying she didn't know it was in the car, Matlock said, but that's a car she drives daily. Matlock says she believes the children were looking in the trunk for snacks when they found the handgun. To hear that something was going to be done about it, I felt a little relief, she said. But it's still kind of sad because there's still kids going to be without their mother because of something they accidentally did. And though her son is gone, Matlock still has no ill will towards the other family member who she knows is hurting too. I still like to see them play with my kids, let them know that we don't hate them, she said. I understand it was an accident and it was something they gotta learn from. Bond for Wright Sanders has not been set. Alright, y'all, let's jump into it. So this story is very sad, and my heart goes out to every single party involved. Yes, including the woman who went into Walmart leaving the children in the car. And I'll explain why I feel for her as well. But especially my heart goes out to the mother who lost a child and to the children themselves, because no child should have to go through anything like that. So first off, the first thing I want to talk about, leaving the children in the car. I mean, even if you're just running in to grab something real quick and shooting right back out, I mean, just bring them in the store with you. You know, they're children. Just bring them in with you, because you never know what's gonna happen. You don't know if some creep ass motherfucker is gonna be in the parking lot. You don't know if a Karen is gonna be in the parking lot calling the cops because you left your kids in there for 2 minutes. You don't know what the hell is gonna happen. So don't even risk leaving the children by themselves, because I mean, they're young. It talked about 3 children, but the ages it spoke about was a 9-year-old and 11-year-old. So that's still pretty young to be leaving in the car by themselves, regardless of how quick you're gonna be in the store or not. Just, you know, just bring your kids with you. That's, you know, that's why you got them. That's why you're a parent, is to rock with your kids. So bring them with you, okay? Because again, you never know what the fuck is gonna happen, and this is a prime example. Now, she kept telling the mother that she had no idea the gun was in the car, and like the mother said, like, that's the car you drive on a day-to-day basis, so why don't you know there's a gun in there? And in my opinion, it's only one of a couple things. Either she knew the gun was in there, she just didn't think it was gonna be a problem, and after it was an issue, she didn't want to own up to it. Or it could have possibly been, let's say, her boyfriends, her significant others, and her boyfriend tucked it in the car without telling her, just in case he gets into any shit while they're together. And it did not specify how the gun got there, whether it was really hers, whether it was someone else's, whether she knew or not. But if it were her boyfriends, and we talk about this all the time, that's why you have to pick and choose wisely and know who you're around and know who you're dating. Because if that was his gun, if that was someone else's gun, look at your life now, because the people you chose to surround yourself with. And I don't know if that's true, I'm just saying that's what it seems like, is either it was someone else's gun or it was hers. And if it was her gun, Why don't you know it's in the car? I mean, come on, like, that's your daily driver. You should know if you got a strap in the car, especially with children. Now, it had also talked about the children finding the gun, you know, and it had said in the article they were probably looking in the trunk for some snacks, found a gun. And what do you do as a child when you find something like that? Of course you want to look at it. If you want to play with it, you want to look at it like, holy shit, we got a gun. Of course, the children didn't do anything wrong here. And even the child who accidentally shot his friend, I really don't fault him because he's 9 years old. So, I mean, you don't know too much as it is. But then, if the parents aren't training the child to know how to handle a gun, it's out of the child's hands. It's not the child's fault at all. He didn't know it was loaded. He doesn't know about no safety. He doesn't know any of that. So he's just playing around with the gun, and it accidentally turns into a fatal shooting. So I don't fault the children at all. But I do want to point out the mother who lost her child. I want to give mad respect to her, because in a situation like this, she could be going crazy. She could be going off the deep end, blaming the friend for having the gun and for leaving him in the car and everything. And the mother is taking it as best as you possibly can. She just lost a son to a crazy accident, and she's still able to separate the fact that it was an accident, right? And she's not trying to get her friend arrested and in prison for life or anything like that. She wants the children to learn from it. She wants to talk to her friend and just kind of figure out what happened so everyone can learn from it. She's not going down the rabbit hole of hatred and depression or anything, which would be understanding since you lost a child. But she is actually being very mature, very wise, and very, very respectful about the whole thing. So I do want to give mad respect to the mother who lost a child and who was able to go through this, keeping her head as level as possible, because that's hard to do for anyone. So I mean, that's really my takeaways. You know what I mean? Like, if you got kids, just don't leave them in the car. Again, you don't know what the fuck is gonna happen. If you are someone who does have guns or who carries guns or anything like that, and you have children, either train your child to know gun safety, or do not let the children be around guns. It's plain and simple. And again, shout out to the mother for being able to keep her head straight, not absolutely hating the friend, but being able to teach these kids the lesson from this, because again, the kids have to live with this. You know what I mean? Like, imagine how that 9-year-old feels knowing he just accidentally killed his friend, and he has to live his whole life with that weight on his shoulders. You know what I mean? So it's important to now guide this child in the right direction, because if he's messed up in the head from this, 10 years down the road, he could be off the deep end for real. So I think it's very important to go through what this parent is going through with the child and be there for the child, because again, you don't want this to fuck him up for the rest of his life and turn him into a troublemaker or just a bad person or just depressed or anything like that. So it's important to help the child cope with this and get through it. So shout out to the mom. I'll keep y'all posted on with the friend who went into Walmart, what she's sentenced with. And again, my heart goes out to every single party involved. But hey, I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure you turn the notification bell on so you can see it first. If you want to support the channel, make sure you click the links in the description below. Also, make sure you share the videos to everybody you know so we can keep growing. But as always, it's White Boy Rick. Till next time.